So this is all kind of happening last minute, so this video might be a mess, but I found out last night about a drift event coming up in a few weeks near me that my friend's going to be attending. He's the one that told me about the event, and I want to go to it. So, oh, what the? Hold the camera over here. Anyway, so my friend told me last night about a drift event coming up in a few weeks near me. It's actually in Houston, about an hour and a half away, I think. But I want to go to it. My car's not quite ready, obviously. Haven't done much to the car yet. It's pretty fairly stock. So in order to get ready for the meet, I ordered a few parts last night, but we're going to get into that later because first we're going to drop the diff out of my car because I'm going to have it welded. Now, I've never done this before and I really have no idea how to do it, but my friend has multiple times in his Z when he was getting it welded, so he's going to come over and help us out. So we got the car up already, as you can see, and we've started working just a little bit. So in order to get the diff out, where's the diff? Okay. In order to get the diff out, we have to remove the exhaust out of the way because it's in the way. So we've already removed the two bolts and they're connecting the exhaust to the Y pipe, and we've removed these two right here. So we're gonna get some PV blaster to kind of make things a little bit easier so we're not abusing the exhaust since it's so old. But after we do that and spray it, we should be ready to drop this portion of the exhaust out of the way so that we can start working on getting the diff out.
Just gotta go on this side. So, beautiful axles, man. Okay, I found a left washer right here. This is me. I'm gonna say it. This is me, man. This is me.
Alright, so as you guys can see, we got the diff out, we got it draining. I'm going to take some brake cleaner after it's all drained, and I'm just going to spray it down on the inside to get it all dry and ready to be welded. Now for the rest of the parts. So when we put the diff back in, after it's welded and everything, oh my gosh, let's see if we can get some light. Oh. So after we get the diff welded and we're ready to put it back in, we're going to be installing some solid diff bushings and some solid subframe bushings to just kind of tidy up my rear end back here. That's what she said. And then to go along with those, we also got a diff brace that we're going to be putting in to help support the diff after it's back in. Now, I'm not sure how much of dropping the subframe that I'm going to be able to record because it's getting dark and we're probably going to work into the dark, so I'm probably not going to be able to record it because it's not even going to show up on camera. So I might just have to show you guys what it looks like after it's done, but we'll see. Okay, but just real quick, check out this man's Drift Z. This thing is clean as hell. I mean, it's low-key kind of clapped, sorry Moses, but I mean, it's fucking clean as hell, man. I'm not even gonna try to explain everything he has done to it. I know he has the wide fab, whatever you want to call it, Cosmos Racing wheels, fucking hydro, quick release, Corbo seats, some harnesses, short shifter, I don't remember the brand, weighted shift knob, completely gutted in the rear, obviously the harness bar. He also has solid diff bushings and subframe bushings and all that, as well as a welded diff, obviously, and an exhaust. I don't know what exhaust he has, but I don't remember what these quarter panel over fenders are, but I know these are rep, I'm not even showing you guys, I know these are rep Rocket Bunny over fenders. It's gonna be so clean. Oh, then obviously the bash bars, front and rear. This thing's gonna be so clean. I know he intends to wrap it white. I don't know how long it's gonna be until he can do that. I think he mentioned painting the over fenders and the bro, I know those are over fenders. What the fuck? I mean, these are over the quarter panel. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. I know he mentioned painting the body kit to match the car, but I don't know. So I'm not even sure what all we did last night because we just kind of worked late into the night. But what we have left to do is the rear brake calipers. We got to pull those out. We got to pull out the rear shocks. Then we have to disconnect the e-brake, and then there's a few bolts that we have to pull out, and then the entire subframe should just drop out. So I don't even remember where I left off because it's been a couple days since we've worked on the Z, but we got the subframe completely out, and I've actually gone ahead and gotten a couple of the subframe bushings out, these two right here. So today we're going to be getting out the other two and hopefully getting out the diff bushings as well. So the way I got these ones out, it's a pretty simple process. It's just kind of tedious. So first you're gonna heat up all the rubber on the inside in here. It's not really focusing, you can't really see it, but there's rubber in here. You're gonna heat it up to make it a little bit softer. You're gonna take a drill bit and you're gonna drill into it and try to just weaken it up. Maybe a Sawzall if you can, or some kind of saw to cut it. And then once it's pretty weak, you're gonna take a hammer and hammer out this middle part right here. And then once this is completely out, we're gonna take a Sawzall, cut a couple slits through this outer collar right here because this piece is actually metal. And once that has its two cuts in it, we're gonna take a chisel and a hammer and hammer down the entire thing until the whole piece comes out, and it'll look like this. Yeah, we like have to destroy the entire thing. It's pretty wild. So we're gonna go ahead and get working on getting out these two subframe bushings and then probably move on to the diff bushings. So don't know how much I'm gonna record, but I'll try to get some clips of it. A few hours later, we've gotten a decent amount of work done, but it doesn't really look like it. We've now gotten the other two subframe bushings out as well as the diff bushing. So we are about to start putting in all of the new bushings, all of the solid bushings. We still haven't gotten out the other two diff bushings, but we're gonna do those after we get these new ones in. So it's like day 4 or something out here working on the Z. So as you can see, we got all 4 of the subframe bushings out as well as the main diff bushing. We actually already got the new solid bushing in on for the diff one. So now what we have left to do is to take the subframe and start to put it back in the car, and that's when we're going to put in the solid subframe bushings, like right before we put it in. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and hopefully today we can get the bushings in and the subframe back in the car, as well as swap the other two diff bushings, because as you can see here, we haven't taken out these other two diff bushings, so we also have to do that and get the new solid ones in. I have yet to get my diff welded. We've just been super busy at the shop, so we haven't gotten to it, but hopefully in a couple days we'll get it welded, and then by then everything else should be done in the car, and we should just be able to come out, slap the new, not the new diff, but slap the welded diff back in the car and bolt everything up, and then we'll be completely done. After hours and hours and hours of work, the subframe, this is not the best English, the subframe is back in the car. It was a pain in the ass. We basically got it all the way in and then had to pull it back out again because we messed it up, but now it's in. It's not coming out, it's all the way in. Everything's bolted back up. We got all of these small stuff like this, I don't know if you can see it, this W brace, this small little brace thing right here. We got all that crap back in. Everything's done, the drive shaft's back in. The only thing that needs to happen now is I need to get my diff welded, which should be in a couple of days. And then we gotta slap the diff back in after it's welded and then bolt up the last few parts. And the rear end's done. So I know I didn't record much or anything of putting the subframe back in. We just wanted to knock it out as fast as we could. And it wouldn't really be that entertaining to watch anyway. So I guess I'm gonna come back when the diff is welded and get that slap back in. So see you in a couple days. So it has been like a week since we started working on the rear end of the Z, and it's still up on jack stands as you can see, but we haven't even touched the car for about 3 days, and that is because I've been waiting to get my diff welded, and as you can see, we finally got it welded. So, lighting. So you can kind of see a little bit of it here. It's not beautiful, but it should get the job done. Oh, keyword should. So all we have left to do now is get these last 2 diff bushings out, get them replaced with these solid bushings, and then we should be ready to put the diff back in the car and get everything bolted up and get the car off the jack stands and see how she drives. So I'm gonna start trying to get these bushings out and we'll see how that goes. So we successfully got the old bushings out. This is one of the new solid diff bushings. This is what it's gonna look like when it's in. It's not in there permanently because it's just gonna fall out, but it'll get bolted in like that. That's what it's gonna look like. So what we're gonna do now is get some gasket maker, put the cover back on the diff, fill it up with oil, and then it'll be ready to go back in the car. So it's kind of hard to see because it's dark, but we got the diff back in, everything's bolted up. All we have to do now is go in with a drill or a wrench or whatever and tighten up all the bolts, and then we're good to go after we put the wheels back on. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but we also added this diff brace, which basically just stiffens up the diff so that it doesn't move around as much, and basically gives you more power to your wheels because you're not losing the power from the diff moving around since it is stiffer. So now we're going to tighten everything up, put the wheels back on, hope it doesn't fall apart. So I was just getting around to editing this video, and honestly it's been like 2 or 3 weeks maybe since I filmed the rest of this video. I just completely forgot to film the outro of it and showing you guys how it ended up looking after we got everything finished up. But obviously, yeah, we got the subframe back in the car with all of these solid bushings in. It was kind of a pain to get the subframe back in just because of mainly because of how we had to maneuver the subframe around with the 2 jacks that we had. But we finally got it in, and the car drives amazing with the new bushings in. I have no complaints, but I am super happy that that job is done and out of the way, because honestly I never want to do that again. It was just too much to do in the parking lot of an apartment complex. If I had a lift, I'll do it, but without one, no, I'm done. That's it. But I don't really think I'm gonna be able to show you guys just because I don't have the car jacked up right now, and I don't really feel like jacking it up. So, sorry, I don't really have effort to put in right now. Well, you can see that is one of these solid diff bushings, the one in the rear, the diff brace, all bolted up. I don't think you're gonna be able to see the subframe bushings. Oh, well, there's one. There's the left one. There's the right one. Can't really tell what's going on, but yeah, so all the bushings in, car drives amazing. Super happy with the turnout. Now I do apologize for not finishing the video up very well, and I'm sorry if this video was a mess. It was very last minute. I did not plan on filming this video at all because I didn't plan on doing all of this to my car this early. It was just recommended by Moses, my friend who was helping me out, and so he recommended I do it before the event, so I ordered the parts and we jumped on it. So sorry if the video was kind of a mess. It's just how it is. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, I would really appreciate you subscribing so you can keep up with the 350 build. You definitely don't want to miss out because I have a lot of things coming up for this car. If you liked the video, hit the like button. It helps boost my videos, helps show it to the algorithm more so that more people can see it and helps me grow. Other than that, y'all take it easy.